Good, 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 good. So IAS 20 government grant. Good. So let's go straight to it. Now, the objective of IAS 20, that's a government grant, is to prescribe the correct accounting treatment for grants, yes, received from the government and other donors. So IAS 20, we call it government grant or accounting for government grants. So take note for us, government grant. So that is it, government grant. First of all, we have to know these terms in it, and then you are done. You have to know who a government is over here, according to IAS 20. Then we should know government assistance. Then we should also know government grants. Yeah, the grant itself. That's one. That's two. And probably the types of grants. Then you're done. So now let's start. What is government? When you mention government, yeah, we are not. We don't want the political definition or the definition given by the Abraham Lincoln, for the people, by the people. No, that's not what you are referring to here. The government that you are referring to is the government itself and its agencies. So like the states and its agencies. So if you take Ghana, I'm referring to the Ghana government, the ministries, the department, the district assemblies, and then the other agencies. All of them form what? The government. So that's what we are talking about. And then in practice, it may also refer to international donor. Oh yes, like the international financial institutions. That's the World Bank, IMF. Yes, can also refer to them because they can also give us what? Donor or donation or donor support. Can also give us a grant. So that is it. Now, what is government assistance? And then what's government grant? Are they the same, these two? Good. Now let's see. Now, when we talk about government assistance refers to the support usually received by the entities from the government by return of what? Performance. So that's the government assistance. So with the assistance, it's merely what? Support. The support that normally, the support that the government normally gives to its entities. Good. So that is example is let's give an example. So when the government gives you a license, operating license, assuming that you want to go into probably a program that it form there or a government cherish it because he's supposed to do it, but he doesn't have the idea or the skills. So you are doing it. So you have to support you. So here the government is using its administrative power. Instead of you using, let's say, 6 months to obtain the license, or you use just a week. Just within a week, your license was given to you. That's support. Why? Because the central government assisted you. Good. So that's the support. And that's the assistance. Another example can also be if we sell local rice and then the government impose a ban on importation of rice. So to the extent that no one can import rice into the country. Now the government have assisted us. By what? By placing an embargo on the importation of rice so that it will boost our local rice. The competition will no longer be what? Be tight or tough for us because it's a local market. We will not be exposed to international competition or foreign competition. That's the government what? Assistance. Good. Then you go to government grants. Now the government grant here is the transfer of resources to the entity for a return of what? Condition. For return of condition or a performance. This one too, there's a performance. There's no free chop anywhere. Both assistance and a grant, all of them come with a condition of performance. Assistance, you are doing something that the government is support of it, likes it. So that's where he will probably support you. Grant to the same thing. With the grant, yeah, the government transfer resources. It's not only money. It is not what only what money. It can probably give you machinery. Government will give you the machinery that you need, or the equipment that you need, or the plant or motor vehicles for you to use to start your business or your operations. So that's a grant. So in short, grants refers to the transfer of resources to the entity by the government for a return of what? Condition or performance. Yes, return of condition or performance. So that's the grant. I hope you get that. Good. So that is it.
Fred,
So
come again. You said grant is what?
you're asking a question.
I said you said grant is, so come again. Take it slowly.
Good. Grant refers to the transfer of resources. Transfer of resources could be money, could be machinery, could be other resources. So the government will transfer resources. So transfer of resources to the entity for a return of what? Condition or a performance. There's no free grant anywhere. If there's free grant, then every company, everybody should receive grant from the government. No. It's for a condition. Yes. So grant refers to the transfer of resources from the government to the entity for a return of condition or a performance. Take this money, use it to do this. If you fail to comply with the conditions, then definitely, or sometimes they will ask you to pay back the grant. Oh yes. Where the purpose the grant was given to you, you've not comply with it, they will ask you to pay back the grant. Oh yes. We give you the money to do this. We are using it for different operations that may not benefit the economy directly. So pay back our grants. Good. So that's the grant. I hope you get it. Now the types of grants and then their treatment. You have a question?
No, I'm saying I get it.
Okay, good. Now let's see the types of grants. There are two types of grants. All what you need to know about grants is the accounting treatment. How do you treat each type? That's all. So types of grants. Types of grant. There are two types basically. The first one is revenue grant. Revenue grant. Revenue grant. Good. And then the second one is capital grant. Capital grant. Capital grant. So for IAS 20, all what you need to know is that's all, the accounting treatment, and you are done. So everything is very short. It's very short, extremely short. So within some few minutes ahead of us, you can clear him from the way. Now let's start the revenue grant. What's the meaning of revenue grant? And what is revenue grant? With revenue grant, the resources is being transferred to you to cater for your wages, so your operating costs, example, your wages and salary. So anytime the government give you money or a grant or a fund to support your operating costs, your revenue expenditure, we are done revenue expenditure, right? Yes, so that is it. Anytime the government give you public support to cater for your operating costs, that's what a revenue grant. So if we are employing fresh graduates, government can support you with your wages and salary. Or if we're employing more of your staff from the local community, the district assembly can mobilize something for you. Oh yes, the assembly can mobilize something for you because you are employing most of the people or most of your staff locally from the local community. They're supposed to create job. The assembly is supposed to probably create job, yes, for the citizen or the people, but the company is doing that, so they have to give him some little grant or support that they have. So that is it. And then capital grants, they are the grant that you receive to acquire what? Assets, especially non-current assets. So grant to buy assets or to acquire non-current assets. Maybe you want some machinery to start your production. That machine is very expensive, so you wrote to the government if they can probably support you with a little amount, so that when you get that machine, you can employ a lot of staff, a lot of people, and then it will boost like employment in a locality. That is it. Good. Now let's start with the revenue grant, and then let's see the accounting treatment, how you should treat it in the books, and then we come to the capital grant. So you get it. So accounting treatment for revenue grant, and then we back with the illustrations, then you are done. Accounting treatment for revenue grant, then we back it with what? Illustration, then we are done. So now let's see. Good. So revenue grant, the treatment. Now I have two scenarios, so I'll take the scenario one after the other. The scenario. So revenue grant is where the government will give you public grants to support your operating costs. For a condition, oh, yes, conditions can be that operate in this community. Don't move anywhere, operate here, because your operations will help the development of the community. So the government say, please don't move anywhere. Make sure that all your activity is in this community. Take this money. You know that you may incur a lot, because if you expand, you can get more money. So you are giving that money to you operate. That's a condition. If you move outside that community, the government will come for their money. Oh yes. And then have some time frame on it. They can also ask you to employ. If you're a foreign company, you are operating in the country, they can, before they give you the grant or the support, they'll ask you to employ most of your staff locally before they'll probably give you the grant. So that's the various condition. Good. So my first illustration or first now will be like where the condition is what? Where the condition is what? Has been satisfied. Oh yes, sometimes you will satisfy the condition before the government giving you the money. Oh yes, before giving the money. Yeah, so the day that you receive the funds or the money or the check, ask yourself, have you satisfied the condition attached to the grant? If the condition has been satisfied, so 100% condition satisfied. So when the condition attached to the grant has been what? Satisfied. Satisfied. So when happened that way, and how do you know? It will be stated in the question. Oh yes, to be in the question. So first, true treatment, 2. But now, once the condition has been satisfied, you've earned it. You have what? Earned it. You are using accrual basis. it has occurred. You've earned it, it has occurred. Transactions should be recorded in the books as and when they occur or when you earn it. So revenue, when you earn it. So add it to other income once you've earned it. Add it to what? Other income. So add a grant to other income. So good, add it to other income or treat it as earnings. So add it to other income. 2, if you have given the money or the money has, you have received the money, then add it to your cash and cash equivalent. If the money was given to you by cash, add it to your cash balance. If it's by check, add it to your bank balance. Usually in reality it's by check, so you add it to your bank balance. But I am saving myself by saying cash and cash equivalent. What if they've not given you the money? It's a promise. You have fulfilled your part, but the money has not yet entered your account. So if the money have not been received, so if the funds have not been received, that one applies to only the second treatment. Once you have fulfilled the condition, you are free to add it to your income because you've earned it. Just that the money, you've not given you the money. So the money have not been received. So what do we do? If the money have not been received, instead of you adding to your cash, that one is not cash. So add it to your current assets. So add it to current assets. Your current assets. Preferably, we call it grant receivable. So the name will be what? Grant receivable. So that will be the name. Grant receivable. Grant receivable. Because the funds has not yet been received. So that is it. Grant receivable. How we get that? Good. So that's the treatment. That's the treatment. Good. Now let me back it with the illustration. So capture it for. So let's go to Impuntio Limited. Impuntio and check one of the notes. And then you try that one for me. I don't have Impuntio here, so let me search for it. Good. So let me look for Impuntio. Good. So Impuntio Limited. I have it here now. So let me share it. One of the notes stated that good. So question 3. Okay, so let's go to the note. Notes. Okay. Note 8. So check note 8 for me. Note 8. It says that a grant of 2 million was promised by the government in January 2018 on condition that the company opens a branch in a rural community and employs 70% of the staff requirement of the branch from where? From the indigents of the community. The company has already complied with the grant conditions. Good. So satisfy condition what? Satisfied. They will tell you. But reasonably expect to receive only 80% of the grant promised. The transaction has not yet been recorded in the books of the company. So that is it. So, but the company expects to receive what? Reasonably. 80%. So you have to take 80% of what? Of the 2,000. That's the 1,600. That's 1.6 million. So it means that, let's go to the board. It means that you add into bracket 80% times what? 2,000. That's 1,600 to other income. Good. And the same figure. Have you received the money? No. Yeah, the money has not been received, or the funds has not been received. So what do? Add it to current asset as well, grant receivable. So current asset, grant receivable, 1,600. You are done. So that is it. I hope you get that. Good. So this is how normally it will appear for you. So that's for revenue grant. Now let's move on to the second scenario. That one is where the condition has not been satisfied, or you satisfy the condition in stages. The condition was satisfied in stages. In that instant, the government will give you the funds. Oh yes, the government will give you the funds ahead of time and ask you to use it for your operations, specific area. If you don't do that, they will come for their money. So that is it. So how do you treat it in your books? Then you are fine. Good. Okay, so now can we look at that one? Why the condition has been satisfied in stages or bit by bit. So that is it. Normally for revenue grant, we will give you this where the condition has been satisfied. So take notes. But the second one I'm doing can also what? Apply. Can also apply. Good. Can also apply. Okay. Now, if you have not satisfied the condition, how are you going to treat this? Now on, the grant should be a liability to you. Oh yes, the liability because you have not satisfied all the condition. So as and when you satisfy a portion, or as and when you satisfy part of the condition, a portion of the grant should be released from the liability to that of the income statement as what? As income. So let's set an example. Assuming that the government gave you a grant of, let's say, you have received a grant of 80 million to cater for your wages and salary. Example, a grant of 80 million was received to cater for your wages and salary. So a grant of what? 80 million was received. To what? To cater for the operating cost of A Limited. Good. That is of A Limited on a condition that A Limited employs 100 new staff. Employs 100. Let's make it fresh graduates. Oh yes, graduates, fresh graduates for the next 3 years. For the next what? 3 years. 3 years. Oh yes. The government is saying that if you can employ 100 fresh graduates for the next 3-year period, take this 80 million for yourself and use it to employ for your operations to cater for your operating costs or your wages and salary. So this is what? It's a revenue grant. They are not giving us that money to buy a non-current asset. So take note. So how do you treat such? Now let's do some analysis here. The company employ the following fresh graduates. So that's the last aspect. So let me make it, let me bring it here. The company employed the following fresh graduates for the year. So for the year 1, year 2, and finally year 3. So for year 1, the company employed 40 staff. 40. Was able to employ 40. For year 2, he did well. He did well. He employed 35 staff. And then lastly, he employed 25. So that you get 100. If you are able to employ, let's say 20, he still owe the government of 5 employees. And then he may be liable for repayment. Oh yes, have to repay because he has defaulted. He was able to employ 95 out of the 100. So either you pay back equivalent of 5 employees, or sometimes you pay back all, depending on the agreement. Yes, depending on the agreement. Good. Now, when it is like this, required, you are required to show the accounting treatment for the above transaction for the year 1, year 2, year 3. In effect, prepare the extracts, how you treat it. Now, before I go on with the solution, let's do something here quickly. If you have employed 40 and they say you should employ 100, so therefore, what will be the percentage? The money given to you is 80 million. So therefore, for the first year, to be 40 that you've employed, all divided by what? The 100 that you're supposed to employ, times what? The 80 million. Yes, and that will give us, when you go to the second year, it will be the same show. The 35 million over the 100 million times what? The 80. Last year too will be what? The 25 million over the 100 times 80. So whatever answer you get, you put it there. Good. Do I have my calculator here? No. So kindly help me with the workings. But now you have to take 40% of 80, and that should give us 32 million or so. 32 million. Is that so? Kindly confirm the calculation for me.
Yes, 32 million, 3,200.
It's 32.
Yes,
Okay.
3,200. I use 8,000.
the second year. If we're able to employ 35, you get what? You get, if you're able to employ 35, so 35 out of 100 times 80. So
2,800.
is then
2,800.
2,800. That'll be 28 million, right?
Yes.
Good, 28 million. So that is it. And then lastly, the last year you were able to employ 25. So putting it together, 40, 60.
The last
That's
one will be 2,000.
20 million, right?
Yeah.
Good. So that is it. Now you can also have an alternative. I'm giving you 80 million for 100 employees. So each employee is how much? If employee one, how much are they giving you? So to be 80 divided by what? Oh, that side is not coming. So to be 80 divided by 100. That's what? 0.8 million. That's 0.8 million. So for year one, you multiply it by the 40 employees. So you get 32 million, and then in that order. So if you're in year one, multiply by 40, year two, multiply by 35, and then 25 respectively. Then you are done. Now let's look at the accounting treatment. These ones are just the workings that you're supposed to do. So now let's see the accounting treatment. You go to your P&L, your profit and loss statement. So first, A Limited, the name of the company. Year one, year two, year three. You go to other income, then write grants. The amount that you can probably show in your financial statement is what? The equivalent, the figure that you were able to employ during that year. So year one will be 32 million. So here is in millions. Year two will be 28 million. And year three is what? 20 million. So that's how the income statement look like. Then you go to the financial position, the balance sheet. That one's year one, year two, year three. How we get that? Now at the start of the year, how much were given to you as a grant? You were given 80 million. 80 million. Good. So you're given 80 million. So yeah, if the money has given to you, what do? Add it to your cash. Yes. Received. So you have to add it to the cash. We are recording it fresh. So when you go to your current asset, don't forget to say grant or cash. Only the first year to be 80 million, the rest we dash because it was just one term amount. So we record the cash. Then the most interesting part is this, the non-current liability section. There will be a section that we call it non-current liability on the financial position. You go and then write grant. Now the entire grant is 80 million, you have received it. At the end of the first year, you were able to what? Satisfy 32 million of the condition. So how much left? So whatever left is this 48, or the 80 minus the 32, and that will give us 48. So it means that I was owing the government a condition of 48 at the end of the first year. When I go to the second year, the entire grant is what? 80. I've already satisfied 32 and 28. So less 32, less 28. And that will probably give us, for the last one, the 20. Good. And this was released the last year. So here, dash, we don't owe anybody. So in effect, so this is how it will look like. I'm done. So get it for me. Let me give you time to probably copy it together with the question. So that is it. Let me know when you're done.
And then the P&L.
Yes, please.
And then, okay, so
for revenue, especially if the condition has not been satisfied fully. I'll be get that.
So which of the figures are we putting into the statements?
Okay, so is a grant that you've earned during the year. During the year one, you were able to employ 40 employees or 40 staff, fresh graduates, out of the 100. So it will be 40 out of the 100 times the amount. So it gave us 32 million. So it means that this 32 million is an amount that we can now release. Even though the government has already given us the 80 million, this 80 million is in our bank account. They say received, it has been received. But we cannot tell ourselves that we've earned 80 million. Why? Because it has not satisfied all the conditions. Although the money has entered your account, it's not yours until you are done with the condition. So that's why we are treating it as a liability. In fact, day one, the government gives us the money. We record an asset of 80, a liability of also 80. Asset of 80, but that's the cash. And then a grant, we owe a condition of what? 82. So that is it. So every year, the portion of the grant that we have satisfied should be released to the income statement, and the remaining portion serve as a liability to us. So year one, we were able to earn 32. So that 32 million goes to the income statement as what? Other income, 32. Then the remaining balance out of 32, out of the 80, we're able to earn 32. Remaining balance of 48 is a liability to us. So that's why we put it there. How we get it? So the last year, it will be a current liability.
So in the P&L, for other income, we'll put in 3,232 million, right? And then the financial position, 32 million out of the 80 million. That'll be the rest. That's what we put in the financial position as non-current liability.
Yes, that's a non-current liability. When you go to the year two, they were able to earn 28 million. So out of the 80, they've earned 32 already, which is the first year. They've earned 28 years. So how much left? That's the 20 million, and it was earned in year three. So in year three, they are not owing anything again. But this 20 is supposed to be a current liability, but doesn't matter.
But are we dealing with only year one?
We are doing year one, year two, year three. So we have
no, but in our statements, are we not doing only year one?
That's if
the current year.
Yes, if it appear in a financial statement, the final account, like input you success it well. Those questions, if it appears there, it's just the first year. That's all.
All right.
But I am illustrating that how will it appear for the grant period.
Okay.
How we get it?
Yes.
Good. So let me know when you're done. Probably taking some few notes so that I'll move on to capital grant, and then that's the end of grant.
I want to understand something. You see the P&L.
Yeah.
For the grant. When you are recording it under the other income, is it only 32 you record?
Yes, only 32. And you show the workings. For this will be the workings, how you got the 32, 28, and 20.
Yes, but what I really want to understand under the P&L is when I'm recording, when I'm preparing and I get to other income grant, I'm just putting there 32. That is for that particular year.
No, it means that there will be other forms of other income. Grant might not be the only other income that you have. So all the other income.
Yes, as for that one, I understand.
Good.
But I mean, when you are listing the other incomes, grant is coming. I just want to know the exact figure you are going to put there.
The exact figure is what you have placed there, the 32,028. The actual grant that you have earned for that year
is 32, right?
Is 32 because you're able to employ 40 and you give us 32. So that's what you put there. The next year for the PNL is for a year. Your performance for the year.
So definitely I am not preparing for the following year.
Is that?
You see, I am asking the question for exam purposes.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, if I am preparing just for the first year, which probably may be 2020, okay, and then the grant is spread over 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022. What I am putting under other income as grant figure is just for the 2020, right?
Good,
which
2020.
32.
Yeah. That's
all
what
right,
it
okay.
ends there. So that for that one, you don't need 2, 3 year, 2 year, 2 year, 3. No.
Okay, that's what I want to understand.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, can we finish it up with the capital grant?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Good. Now let's see capital grant. So it means that for revenue grant, you record it in your books as and when you fulfill the conditions and it.
Okay.
Yes. You will recognize them as and when the conditions were satisfied or fulfilled. Now the capital grants, the one that they give it to you to go and buy assets. So there are two types of the treatment. I'll start with the easiest one first. We call it deductive method. Deductive method. Let's start with that one first. Deductive method. As the name suggests, deductive. Deductive method. Let's assume that you want to buy an asset. Example. Okay, let's go to the treatment first. Treatment number 1. When the government gives you the funds, add the cash. Add the funds to your cash balance. So add it to cash. Add it to cash. Add the amount to cash. The amount to cash. What if they have not given you the amount? They rather promise that if they go ahead and go and buy, we will probably fulfill our part. That one, you treat it as what? Grant receivable under the current tax. That's the first thing. When they give you the money. 2. Second treatment. Subtract.
No, Fred, please hold on. Go over the first one again.
The first
when
one,
cash is
the
received,
government have given you 10,000 Ghana cedis to go and buy an asset. Just that the asset will cost you, let's say, 100,000. The government is supporting you with 10,000. How do you treat this 10,000? That's what you're looking for. The accounting treatment of the grant, the 10,000 given to you to go and buy an asset costing what? 100,000. Good. So now, the treatment will be first, add the amount to cash. Oh yes, you have received the money, 10,000, so add it to your cash balance or your cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent. If it's by check, add it to your bank. Good. Now the second one, that's the first scenario. So I'll add this 10,000 to my cash balance. Then what do? Subtract the grant. How we get it now? Good. Then subtract the grant from the cost of the asset. The cost of what? The cost of the asset. Of the asset, and depreciate the remaining balance. And what? Depreciate the remaining balance. The remaining balance. The remaining balance. So here, this asset particular will be depreciated on what? 90,000. Yes. So that is it. Now let's back it with illustration. Here I won't talk plenty. I won't talk what? Plenty. I'm just going to list them for you. Straightforward. Good. So example will be here. And put example here. So let me make it short. The cost of the asset that you want to buy. Cost of the asset is 100,000 Ghana cedis. And then the grant received was 40,000. The government supported you with 40,000. The useful life of the asset. Useful life of the asset is what? 4 years. Account for the above using what? The deductive method. Using the deductive method. Using what? The deductive method. So take notes. Good. Now let's see how we can treat that one. So solution. Solution. How we can see from that end? Solution. So what do we do? Okay, I think I can see. So solution. Now tell us what will happen. So before we start, we go to our P&L. The name of the company should come. Your profit and loss statement. 4 years. So year 1, year 2, year 3, and probably year 4. Good. You go to your financial position. Your financial position. That one too. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Then you start your workings. Let me do some workings here. The only working that we will do, or the only workings that we will do. Now, we said that 1, add the cash to your cash balance. So for financial position, when you go to your current asset, don't forget to add the cash. Subtract the grant from the cost and depreciate the remaining balance. Okay, so original cost of the asset will be 100,000. Yeah. And the grant received. We receive a grant of what? 40,000. So therefore, the net cost of what? 60,000. So depreciation will be based on what? 60,000. So if you should calculate depreciation, then it will be what? The 60,000 divided by the 4 years. Useful life is what? 4 years. So divided by what? 4 years. And that will give us 15,000. So every year we show 15,000. When you come here, depreciation will be 15,000 throughout the year. That's the deductive method. For the final account, we don't like using this approach. I'll tell you why. Because it's so easy. Good.
No, Fred, I don't understand something.
Please, which session?
The cost of the asset is 100,000, right?
Yes.
Now, the government or whatever will receive a grant of 40,000.
Yes.
So why are we not calculating the depreciation on the cost, but rather on the remaining grants that we have not even received yet?
The remaining what?
the grant that we have not even received yet, the amount we have not received yet. What are we calculating?
Not that. You are going to buy your assets, and
yeah,
you are going to buy an asset. Let's say plant for your machinery, plant for your operations, and then the cost of the plant is 100,000.
Okay.
But the government said I'll support you with 40,000.
Oh, okay, all right.
It means that actually you are going to spend 60,000. That's the net amount that it costs you.
Okay, all right. I've gotten it now.
So do you get it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
right. Thank you.
So this is how the P&L look like. So subtract the grant from the cost of the assets and depreciate the remaining balance. Good.
Balance. Okay.
Now let's move on. Now get this working clear for me. I'll probably take it off. So on the balance sheet or the financial position, you will have the cost of the plant or the cost of the asset. The cost will be what? What cost should I write? Should I write 100 or 60? The cost, will it be 100 or 60?
The cost is 100.
Wow.
In fact, the cost is 60.
I like that. Sicho, I like that. Cost is what? 60. Madam Ellen, why is it 100? Tell me. Did you actually?
Well, I'm listening.
Yes. What amount did you actually pay for it? You actually pay 60. Government
yes, it's true. We paid. Yes, we paid 60.
60. So I like the 60 more than 100. Good. In fact, we used to depreciate the asset. That's the cost, right? Yes, what used to depreciate the asset. So here I write 60. Good. 60,000 throughout. 60,000 throughout. How we get that? Then accumulated depreciation. First year will be 15,000. Agreed. Second year will be 30,000. Accumulated depreciation. And then 45,000. And then what? 60,000. Good. Now let me take this session off. Good. Now let's go to the carrying amount. Carrying amount. So carrying amount. So for the first year, the carrying amount will be what? The current amount should be
45.
I like that. 45,000. And the last one, the next one will be 30. 15. What about the last year? 0. Oh yes.
0.
Now let me where's the case? What if the asset we are going to sell it for a scrap value of, let's say, 1,000 Ghana? The asset have a scrap value of 1,000 Ghana. So after getting the 60,000, what do? You less the scrap value of what? 1,000 before we divide by 4 years. So cost less what? The scrap value. Don't forget that if there's a scrap value, subtract it.
Okay. All right.
How we get it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So it has not changed. Here we want things to look okay. That's why I not include any scrap value in the example. Yes. Because for the first example, let them understand everything. So after the first example, then the next one, you pick the complicated one. Yes.
Okay.
Good. Now I'm done. Oh, yes. So when the cash is received, the cash is how much? 40,000. So we receive 40,000 for the first year. So the 40,000 for the first year. So probably we should add the 40,000. So go to current assets. So we say we should add it to your cash and cash equivalent. So go to your current assets. If they have not recorded it at all, here they've not recorded it. We are doing everything. So I write cash or cash and cash equivalent of what? 40,000. For the entire amount received from the government is 40,000. If they already have a cash balance there, what do? add the 40,000 to their cash balance. Thank you. So that's the treatment. Wow. I think the data